There. Okay.
But it's not now, is it?
No. Come on when you start
well, you know,
talking.
the end of the story is that her daughter Ella married his oldest son William.
Oh. Gee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where is this?
Hold on a second, hold on a second.
I can't tell.
Well, hang up. I'm gonna go check on that chicken. Hang up. I'm there when I come in.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know who the Johnsons are, but that Bertie Wilson. Aunt Bertie.
I got a bunch of pictures of her and her clan.
Aunt Bertie. That was a sister to Henry and Charlie.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. And I forget she married. Who'd she marry?
See that?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to scrape the top.
I was
Tastes
thinking.
good.
I think you probably
Some of
will.
the wings got totally burned to a crisp. There was a big fire. The whole barbecue pit is black.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I went to check it at 3:40, and I just went out there at 3. In the 20 minutes you and I were talking, I went out there. I took the cover off. The chicken is totally black. The inside of the barbecue pit, like there was a big old flare up.
Yeah, it must have just when you uncovered it and then put it back on, it just must have caught fire right after you left.
Something caught fire in there.
Well, why don't I write that story down
That would be
about
great.
her?
That would be great.
You don't know who this is. I can't tell, but
Well-
the Johnsons and Bertie is only. I don't know where the Johnsons come into our family.
Yeah, that's somehow she married into their clan, and that must be their clan there.
Mhm. Who is this?
That one says Aunt Bertie too. That must be a young picture of her. And this is more pictures that she's in.
And there she is again. It's like I saw her when I was
It's Bertie
Wilson.
Wilson.
So she married then. I don't know what her husband's name was. I don't know. Now these are the Robards. Minnie Wilson, that was a sister to Charlie and Henry, married a Robart
Mm-hmm.
and had one daughter, Elva.
And he was a photographer.
I don't know. I might have been. I don't know.
I mean, that's the Rovard studio.
Could be,
What
I
a
don't know.
coincidence.
I don't know. Who's this?
That's a Wilson.
Who? I don't know who that would be. That's another Robart. You must have had, still have pictures you haven't identified, don't you?
A few.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bertie Wilson Johnson clan again.
Okay, that's not anything, anybody I know. Who is that?
I think they're on the back.
Deborah Wilson. Looks like Elva's writing, probably Rovart.
2 Wilson brothers. Clarence and Roy. Or is it Ray?
Mary, I think. Clarence Wilson. Yeah, and it was
Some of these pictures are really, really old.
That says Hugh, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ilva Wilson.
My grandmother, was it? Ines?
It says Eva Leeds.
Yeah, now I don't know where that one came into. That was probably one of the sisters of.
Sisters of Henry, probably.
Mhm, mhm.
'Cause this one says Aunt Eva and Uncle Jim Leeds.
Well, this would be the one. Then I wish you'd make a copy of that sometime, and let me send it to Richard, because the watch that she told me to give to Richard came from somebody by the name of Eva, an aunt of hers. And we could maybe run that down and put on the grandfather would be Levi, and then who you think Levi was the father of
Henry.
Henry? Well, wouldn't it be fun before my car wears out if you and I and go pick up Lita and go up to Des Moines and run some of these down? There's a girl up there that's working on this, and I don't know her name. I think her name, I believe, was Genevieve. And she was a Wilson. I don't know what her married name
And she's
is.
working on it from the other end. Huh?
Yeah, well, she's working on it from her grandfather would have been Charlie Wilson.
Wow.
And she might even be able to identify some of these pictures. You can't tell. These pictures actually don't help that much, do they? Oh, boy. Gotta ask Lita sometime if the Rovarts had the Rovart that married, was he a photographer? That'd be interesting to know. And see, that's the man that Elva married. That's their wedding picture. And he never worked. They lived off the interest or something of the money that was given her. She inherited. Maria didn't have that kind of money, did she?
No.
See, that picture's not familiar to me. Did you get a picture of that tombstone in that old cemetery of that Francis Raines?
I think so.
What was that verse on there?
I don't remember.
Lee said Julie found it and just broke up crying. Well, probably Stokesbury. That looks like Aunt Anna. Well, look how that old house looked at one time. That's interesting, isn't it?
But whose home is that?
Well, that's the old farmhouse, I believe. There used to be a porch up here, and they took all this stuff down when I
That's
came
a lot
along.
different.
And there's a door that opens out here, and I was walking in my sleep a lot.
This is 1912.
Mm-hmm.
See, someone didn't like someone, because look, if you look here, they scratched out someone's face.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You see that? Right on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is an original. It says Virgie Kaufman.
Well, I don't know who that is.
But they just scratched someone right out of the picture.
Isn't it interesting? Who is this a bunch of the Wilson kids?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to let you take it out.
That doesn't have a thing written on it. Some scenic place. This one here says Buck's Pharmacy, South Dakota.
No, doesn't mean anything to me. I was born in 1915. The time I looked like 5 or 6 years old, all of this was gone. And I was walking in my sleep at night. Guess what happened? That door, it was a lock on that I couldn't reach. There was a door that opened right out onto that. Let's see, there was those two windows, and then this, my dad put a porch in between here and here. Well, This looks like South Dakota. I wouldn't know about that. Is this a house in South Dakota?
It doesn't say. This one looks like a picture you had shown me, though, of the old Wilson home in South Dakota.
But I don't remember all this back here.
Yeah, the picture you showed me, I don't think that was there. But it looks very similar to the house.
Well, you're going to have to go back up to Missouri and get Lita to identify as many of these as she can. She can identify more than I can. And do you have in that collection of pictures you got from me, Richard and Beth's picture? I've lost it. It may have been stolen in my purse that time.
Of what?
They had a picture made when Julie and Todd were like high school age.
I have some like that, yeah. Yeah. Which, let's see if I can.
I don't have any. I wish I had one of Bob and Mary, and I don't. I don't have one of your dad and your mother, and I don't have one of your dad and Rita.
One of these.
They just didn't get pictures made after they got married. They didn't spend money on pictures, did they?
It's not. Yeah, here's Aunt Beth and Uncle Richard.
Well, let's see here. Oh. What is this? Clyde Powell. Do you know who Clyde Powell is?
No.
Well, I need to write that down for you. That's Mona. That was taken out at, does it tell?
Lawrence Welk Country Club.
See, this is Helen and Charlie and Lisa and Cindy. I think this is Lisa and this is Cindy. Cindy's the oldest. Cindy's the one that's going to Budapest. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th. I think 12th. This week anyway.
Wow.
And she's going to work there as a missionary. That's Tracy. This guy married the oldest daughter of Fred Wilson. And I went to school to him. And he created a love of math in me that year he taught school. About a year and a half. And I went to see him out in California back.
Some of it?
Some of it, I'm sure it is.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
He had retired. He was a superintendent of schools out there by the time he taught in Chickasha, Oklahoma. Taught in Missouri 2 or 3 schools, then they sent him down to Chickasha. He became superintendent or principal, I forget which, of the Chickasha schools. And then went out in California. And he told me that after he retired, the sun shines every day in California. And if you are a person that likes to play golf, that's the place to live. And he played golf every day since he retired, except one day. I said, did it rain? He said, no, Frida made me paint the back fence. That's too bad, wasn't it? Now that's Helen's girls. Mona's girls, Helen's girls. I think. Now this is Beth and Richard's wedding pictures. I was wondering where they were. This is Ruth, you remember, that died here not long ago. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
This is Patty. Richard and Beth. Don't they look young?
Mm-hmm.
But look how Richard's hair's doing. And he was,
Sarah's already gone.
yeah,
Was Dad not there?
no.
He wasn't
We
there?
were separated, and they didn't invite him, and he was mad.
Why didn't they invite him?
Well, there was just not any love lost between Richard and his dad, or actually between Bob and his dad. He wasn't at Bob's wedding. I look different there, don't I? That's Julie. Yeah, that's Julie.
There's me and Julie.
Yeah, I thought that was a cutie. They hired a babysitter one night, and the two couples went out to a movie or something, and they came home, and the babysitter said, well, they both went to sleep in the chair. He said they went in there, and there you lay right there together asleep. And they woke you up, see your eyes are open. Who is this?
I don't know. Probably like a Todd, maybe.
I don't know. That was a cute picture in the paper. That was Julie, but I suspect that's Julie. I don't know. This is Todd. I took the kids out to the to the ship on the ship channel one time. I had a good picture here someplace that's... You know, Julie has a ready smile and a cute smile, doesn't she? And that was the picture I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. This is a good picture. These were all made at the same time. Richard always used his hands when he talked. Yeah, that identifies this me? I don't think so. Mona, maybe. That's Richard.
Yeah.
Here I am. Ellen? You reckon that was Ellen?
Could be. Looks like a Dad's old apartment.
No, if it's your dad's old apartment.
This one is, because I remember that.
Well,
that
this
furniture,
wouldn't
that's
be
his
me
old
then.
furniture.
This wouldn't be me then. It's your dad's old apartment.
Put Courtney to bed?
Kid. I bet that was Ellen back there. Picture of Julie and Todd. I took out on the ship. That was a real good picture, and I had it enlarged. Do you remember that picture any place? Well, I wonder what happened to it. What's this?
That's one of your friends.
Can't get it out, can I? No, okay, you don't have to.
It looks suspiciously like one of your friends that came to Christmas a couple of times.
Lucy?
Or, no, maybe Marlene's mom.
That's who that is. That's
That's
Miss
who it
Smith.
That's what it is.
Y'all label that. Bob
Maybe
Marlene.
that's who it is in that one of them other pictures.
It could
too.
be. Oh, they were proud of Catherine. You can't imagine how. Now, this is one of the rare pictures I have of your mother. Started out 6 of you, didn't you?
Yeah. I remember those days.
This looks like Clark Jr. Guess it's Will. Guess that's Will.
It's gotta be Will, Lee, Todd, Julie, Catherine. Buck Jr., here's one of him. He was a lot smaller.
Didn't make him turn around. Whose are these?
Maybe Clark.
Probably. Yeah, that's Frida. You ever see her again? Now that's Tracy. I remember this. And that's you. I don't know who that is.
That's Clark.
And I think it is too, kind of like him. You don't have to go through these and label them. This was made in Oregon in 1978. No. 78. And this was me. This was Lita. This was Thelma. Lita and Thelma were sisters. And this was Laura and Ines. And I don't remember which is which. This is Ellen. Ellen married Nelson and lives in Kalispell, Montana. And this is her mother, Edna. Edna was one of the 11. And this was Ellen and me and Lita. Cut Lita off, didn't I? This is Aunt Hazel. Aunt Hazel. This is Aunt Eva. Aunt Hazel.
Yeah, how many, are these on there? Yeah, this one has it. Laura, Eva, Inez, Hazel.
Okay, I expect you're all marked.
Let's see. Rita and the, since 1968.
68. Oh, that can't be.
10 years earlier. This one isn't labeled.
This is Laura and Cecil. Seven, 78, 79, 81. I just said 68.
How do you spell Cecil?
Cecil. And her last name was, well, that's a good one. Laura and Cecil. Cecil Shelley. Shelley. That's, well, can you tell here? Can you identify?
This is Laura and Inez on this one.
The sisters. This is Laura. This is Ines. Ines was the youngest. Oh my goodness, when Laura got married, her mother and daddy just had a fit. And I said, Aunt Eva, what in the world is she raising Cain about that girl getting married and having a life of her own for? Well, there's somebody in Cecil's family that was mentally retarded, I think. And they were so afraid that Laura would have a baby like that.
Oh, really?
And she had one anyway. That's Hazel Cutright.
This one, who is that?
Hazel Cutright.
She fit in.
Well, that was the sister next to my dad, younger, next to my dad. Hazel. And
Oh, that's her married name.
Cutright was her married name. Hazel. She really didn't have any children. Hazel and Anna and Eva, and then Earl, the last four.
You can't recognize some of the real old pictures of these folks. When they were older.
Well, Kodaks weren't very good then either, were they?
Probably not. Is there enough of that chicken to eat? Round Butte, Oregon.
think so. We just gotta
Good.
clean out all the, take off all the skin and everything, and then
Skin
underneath
is
it
what
should be
burned.
fine.
I think skin's what burned.
That never happened before. We had just had a big flare up. Yeah, that's not good.
I guess that was 68. I had Lord Cecil.
Again?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't look like...
How come he grew some
I'm
hair all of
wondering
a
too.
sudden?
This must be Ines. This is Ines and can't remember. I don't know the last name. Ines and he had a pretty bad marriage and had a pretty hard time with it. And this man was so good to her. See, this is Logan and Maxine. This is Ada and Keith.
Boy, this photo album is hard to deal with. It's rough. Made for taking them back out.
Almost need something, a pencil or something pushing through, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I got one right here.
That's Logan, and he's two. That Logan or that's LH? That's LH. Logan's son, LH, and I think Patty, I think, and David, and I don't know his grandchildren's name. Lita will have it. You probably have it.
I have it in the list somewhere.
Hazel, and Eva, and Edna. That was taken in Montana.
68 was a busy year.
68 was the year Lita and I took Aunt Evan and Hazel and Uncle Otis. And we drove from down there where the Mets to Montana. Visited Aunt Edna and Ellen back here. And Tommy is their daughter. We visited them and then went on to Bend, Oregon. And that's where those pictures were made of those Aunt Hazel and Evan. That was made out on a dam where the water was dammed up. There was a big lake. We met the people. They lived in Portland, Oregon. And we were staying in Bend, and we met kind of halfway between. These are these. Well, I think that's Mona's two girls. Here's Mona. You know, she worked as a nurse. And this looks like Julie. Don't know if it was or not. No, it's not labeled. So I don't know. This is Aunt Mary. This is, well, that's Uncle Otis. I don't know who these are. That's, that's you and your dad. Here you are. I think this might be you. I don't know. This was you were playing football. And there's Lee. Lee always takes a good picture. Have you ever noticed that?
Mm-hmm. Very photogenic.
Mm-hmm. This is Aunt Eva. This is Opal. I think out on that one of those screen porches there at the house. This is Dad and Opal over at Nevada.
nurse's uniform?
Opal, my stepmother, she was a nurse.
Oh.
Here she is with my dad, and here she is with her daughter-in-law, Linnell's wife. You'd enjoy meeting Linnell. He and Todd got
Looks like one of the pictures I got.
Could be. Could be.
Did they just have one child?
They didn't. This was Opal's son.
Oh.
He was 17 years old and I was 21 when they married. And I lived there at home 1 year before I married and left. And Opal always told Aunt Eva that that was the happiest year of her life. And said that Linnell and I just had so much fun together, just kept laughing at the table and so forth. And see, this is, I think it's Opal. I don't know who that is. This is Logan, Aunt Lula, and his wife Maxine. Aunt Lula was Fred Wilson's wife. Here's Logan and Aunt Lula. Aunt Lula always said she never wanted to see the ocean.
Why?
I don't know. They saw to it that she saw the ocean in California. She never wanted to go up on top of a mountain. And suddenly she realized they were driving and she was enjoying the trees and looking.
Oh no, and then she realized she was at the top of a mountain. That's how it was in Puerto Rico. You'd just be driving. I mean, it was just like a regular road, and all of a sudden you look down and you were at the top of a mountain.
Maxine?
Logan's wife. The one in the middle is Aunt Lula. Aunt Lula.
Maxine.
Logan and Maxine, her husband and wife. And
Looks
Aunt
a lot
Lula.
like you in the face.
What, Maxine? Well, we both.
That is you.
I'm not in it.
That's gotta be you. That's not you? Look.
Looks like me, doesn't it?
Looks like you with glasses on.
But I never was out there with that.
Well, look. This one's you for sure.
I need to go get my glasses out of the car.
Will you go get them?
Yeah.
Where's your keys?
Oh yeah, that is Grandma.
No, here, they're in my pocket. No, they're not.
Or are they on the dash?
They're in that little petition, but in the front seat. The one in the middle.
Okay.
Well, I can't figure out when Logan and Aunt Lula and that sure looks like Aunt Lula.
Oh, okay.
That is Aunt Lula. That's me, all right. Well, when the three of us were together. Well, I don't know.
Who's that?
Maxine. You think Maxine and I looked enough alike that that might have been her?
No.
No, okay. Okay, you say so. Why didn't I mark these? I remember that outfit.
None of these particular ones you marked.
And that's Logan. Darn, that looks like Aunt Lula, but I don't know. And who's this couple? That's Clyde and Frida. That's Logan and me. The first one is Clyde Powell. The next one is Frida Wilson Powell. That'll help you to identify her. The oldest one is the Fred Wilsons. And then Logan, and then me. Well, I don't know when that was taken. Probably when I was out there. Probably when I was out there like in the 80s, I think I was out there. Went out there two times in the fall. Flew out there. Flew into San Francisco and took a little puddle jumper out to wherever they met me. I don't remember where they met me. Lots of fun. Hogan always called me, his nickname for me, he was about 5 years older. And just enough older to pick on me, you know. And he worked for my dad a lot. And his nickname for me was Midget.
Oh, no.
Hey.
But when Lita and I drove out there in '68, I was driving her car, and they were reading the directions how to get there, and we were driving down the road with these trees full of, I don't know what, pecans, I guess. He had pecans. I don't know whether it's some kind of fruit. I don't know what they were. Anyway, you know, you just didn't see much except the trees were on both sides, so close to the road. And Aunt Eva, I guess, had been down there, and she said, "Now you see down the road there, you're going to make a right turn into to their house." So I thought, well, okay, this has got to be good. I hit that horn, a short, then a real long, and then another short. And I waited another minute, and I did the same thing again. And by the time I pulled into the driveway, he was standing out in his driveway waving at his tail. He said, "I knew Midget was behind the wheel." That was their telephone ring when we had a party line. It was a short line and short. He heard that and he come bouncing out of that house. Funny how some of those things will come back to you. Crazy times, you know. Party line. Ours was a long, a short, and a long. And theirs was a short, long, and a short. And each part, some of them had 3 short rings, or some of them had 3 long rings, or whatever, you know. But you know, one time, knowing the old party line system like I did, and this was so funny to me, I drove up to Wyoming and visited a friend of John's up there. Mine. I later became my friend after I married him. I married John, and anyway, he said, "Now, Mildred, how many days are you going to stay?" And I told him, and he said, "Well, I've got to get you up to Powell, Wyoming." And I said, "Okay." Well, my brother, get his brother's name, Arthur, Audrey, something. Anyway, he says, "I've got to get you up there." He said he never would speak to me again if I let you come up here and I didn't bring you up to see him. So we got up there, and this was an older man than myself. And he'd left the country pretty soon after I began to run around with the kids, you know. So I really didn't know him that well. And He said, Mildred, I have a story to tell you. I said, okay. He said, I had just got to the age where the family would trust me to answer the telephone. And he said, do you remember the old party line ring? And I said, yeah. There was one ring, a real long, just was for everybody to pick up the receiver because somebody on there had an announcement to make. And so anyway, he said we were sitting around one Sunday afternoon, and here come that long ring. And he said, I jumped up and ran to the phone and said, my mother fussing. Now, I can't think you know, odd, but I don't believe. Anyway, he said, now you get that message right. Oh, I will. And he said the message was there was a new baby girl at the Glenn Wilson farm. He said he watched me growing up in that church, you know, from little baby girl on up, and he thought how big he felt the day he went in and announced that there was a new girl. Now this is my principal that I worked for 14 years. And this is Harriet Summers, and we were office mates for 14 years. He is dead, she is still alive.
You have another picture of him by himself, don't you?
I expect so.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, Mr. Cox, when he retired, they got someone to take one of his pictures, and they painted this picture of him. And gave it to him when he retired. They gave him a big new console type TV. He retired in 80, I guess. 79 or 80. I expect 80. And Mr. Fryler. I haven't thought of Mr. Fryler for years. What's the first street I cross after I come off of Belford? What's the name of it?
Willcrest?
No, the next one. Coming off Belford this way.
Oh.
Second one, it's the second one. Innsbruck or something.
Yeah, it probably is Innsbruck. It's something like that.
That second street is the one that he lives on out past where you and your mother and Lee used to live in those apartments back in behind there. He lives on that same street that's right up here, and then it breaks and then it picks up again over there.
These other people, his friends?
So cute.
Probably. This is the library bunch. This is Mr. Cox. This is the principal I worked for 4 years, Miss Shoemate. And the first day of the rodeo, she'd ask anybody working everybody in school to dress up in their Western clothes. And what do I have on? Looks like a tie, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is Lois Mathis and me, and I don't know. I worked. Lois is dead. Didn't write it down. Not too bad. That picture was made in 1953.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I kind of think that was. I think that was Agnes Johnson, one of the teachers, and. The way that courtyard used to look back there behind that school. Shoemate and I think Agnes and me, and no, Agnes was taller than me. That couldn't be it. And Lois. I used to be tall and straight, didn't I?
Somewhat.
This is a library person. some of these pictures I guess we ought to throw away because they're going to confuse somebody someday. Oh, what is her name? I didn't write the names on the back of this.
Yeah, I didn't look yet.
That's Bill. That's me. That's Mary's husband. This is that woman. What is her name? She was my librarian. That hasn't been that many years ago. Now this is a bunch of the teachers in 53, and I could no more name them than anything.
One of them has those funny eyes on. This one right here. She's got some funny eyes on.
Let's see.
Oh, this one right here.
That was Leon Allen. See, I don't even remember who those people were. Couldn't find myself in there if I had to.